there's 41 million Canadians, basically the population of California, sitting on the world's largest amounts of all resources, including the most important, energy and water. Canadians, over the holidays, the last 2 days, have been talking about this. They want to hear more. And so, there's obviously a lot of issues, more details, but what this could be is the beginning of an economic union. Think about the power of combining the two economies, erasing the border between Canada and the United States, and putting all that resource up to the northern borders where China and Russia are knocking on the door. So secure that, give a common currency, figure out taxes across the board, get everything trading both ways, create a new, almost EU-like passport. I like this idea, and at least half of Canadians are interested. The problem is the government's collapsing in Canada right now. Nobody wants Trudeau to negotiate this deal. I don't want him doing it for me, so I'm going to go to Mar-a-Lago. I'll start the narrative. The 41 million Canadians, I think most of them would trust me on this deal.
A vocal advocate of crypto, even floating the possibility of a nationwide crypto reserve. According to advocacy group Stand With Crypto, nearly 300 pro-crypto lawmakers will take seats in the House and the Senate next year. But in the past few days, Bitcoin has hovered right below 100,000 and is pushing down again today, although the entire market is pretty much down today. The question is, what happens next year? Joining us now with his 2025 outlook is Gil Luria of D.A. Davidson. They published the first Wall Street sell-side research on Bitcoin more than 10 years ago. Gil, it's great to have you on. Because of that, I'm going to quote you to you. You said that and I'm reading, you apologize. We view Bitcoin as an asset unlike any other, which makes it more challenging to value and analyze, but does not take away from its importance and promise. How important is Bitcoin?
Well, it's become increasingly important just because the vision and the idea and the technology have captivated hundreds of millions of people around the world. At the time I wrote that document, Bitcoin was a relatively new concept. I had just read the original white paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and thought this is going to transform the global financial system. And if the technology wins, it could grow by orders of magnitude, which it has. And the reason it has is that there's finite supply. You heard that from Mr. Saylor all the time. But there's also been broad adoption. Anytime somebody uses Bitcoin for anything, whether it's an alternative investment, so because it's uncorrelated to the market, either for trading or because they believe it'll become all of money, that adoption has driven Bitcoin over the last 15 years. And in 2025, that adoption could continue. And if it does, the asset could ascend even more in value. I use the term crypto asset because it's unlike anything else. It's not an equity, it's not a bond, and it's not a commodity. It's closer to commodity than any of those, but it's not equity and it's not a currency. So we refer to it as a Bitcoin asset, at least for now. Again, the main utilities are an uncorrelated ascending asset. That's what people refer to as digital gold. The other big use is trading. Anybody in the world at any time on any connected devices can buy and sell Bitcoin. That's a huge use for Bitcoin. Those are the two primary uses today. Now, but there is a contingency of people that believe that one day Bitcoin will be all of money, at which point it will become a cryptocurrency. It will replace all government currencies. Now, even if you believe the likelihood of that to happen is only 2%, then the Bitcoin is worth $100,000. If you believe that the likelihood is any higher than that, you can believe that Bitcoin is worth even more. But for now, and definitely for any other crypto, they're crypto assets. They're not currencies. They're a unique type of asset that's unlike any other type of asset, which is, again, part of the reason there's been such broad adoption and so much excitement about how they can transform the current financial system, democratize it, decentralize.
You think we're at the beginning of a 10% correction? Why?
I do. I'm unfortunately calling for something like that, but we've had a tremendous run. 10% corrections do happen on average every 18 months, and what we're seeing is just horrible market breadth. The leadership, great leadership, those Mag 7 names, but the divergence is getting a little too rich for me, and I think once we get to the new quarter, we're going to have some headwinds to deal with, and we may see some of those Mag 7 names give back a little bit. And I don't think the rotation will keep up enough to prevent us from having a correction back to the 200-day moving average, just above 5,500. To me, when you live through it, it's not going to be fun. But the setup right now, given that, and then the uncertainty coming in with the new administration, tariffs, possible unemployment ticking up with this, Elon Musk and Ramaswamy's deal. So Doge, that was the name I couldn't think of. So there are a lot of questions coming into this, and tariffs are going to come back to us. They're going to hurt the bottom line. So that uncertainty could lead to a little trepidation, and we get a normal correction. I don't think it's that big of a call given what we've done over the last 2 years.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Kevin O'Leary on Canada becoming a 51st state. And Trudeau says that the tariffs would destroy their economy. And I don't see them becoming a 51st state. And they just might turn to China. I've done plenty of videos a long time ago showing China's payment system and better than Canada. Kevin O'Leary says he's all for it, and we know for a fact we can't trust Kevin O'Leary. Only thing we have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, and let it play out. Now, we have the Bitcoin narrative as digital gold. But we also know we read the original white paper, and we know Bitcoin could have scaled, became a currency, but also we know the central banks were behind Bitcoin from the beginning. So the central banks could build this digital economy. Now that machines have money, the whole economy can be ran by the robots, algorithms, and drones without a human involved. And that technology is already here. It's not coming. It's already here. Now, in the first quarter, we're definitely going to get a correction. We can see all the headwinds in front of us. I've been over it several times. And Trump gets to play the Hegelian dialectic. He gets to blame all the issues, all the problems on the last administration. And he's going to have to cut the debt. Get us on a level playing field. End the world reserve currency as a fiat and move us over to a digital dollar. And then also bring in all this technology for the fourth industrial revolution. And he has 4 years to do it. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
President-elect Trump took to his social media platform to blast Texas Republican Congressman Chip Roy. Trump had wanted the debt ceiling to be raised as part of a funding package, but Roy wanted companion spending cuts online. The president-elect called Roy a, quote, Republican obstructionist.
Merry Christmas. Great to be on the show. I mean, look, this politics is rough and tumble business. President Trump knows exactly what he wants. He wants the debt ceiling pushed aside so that Chuck Schumer can't use it as leverage against him and against Republicans. And we know Chuck Schumer's been going around the Senate saying he wants to use it to try to constrain President Trump's agenda. So President Trump wanted it gone. Now, here's the problem. We didn't get that tweet till Wednesday night at like 6 o'clock. The president had never told us, hey, I need the debt ceiling or no CR before Christmas. Well, the bill had been built up like a normal Christmas tree bill. With all due respect to Republican leadership, it was a bad bill. It blew up Wednesday afternoon. Those of us who are pretty known and pretty consistent in our track record that we don't agree to borrow more money without forcing some discussion about spending cuts, we said no. And it wasn't just Freedom Caucus. It wasn't just Chip Roy. There were 38 Republicans who stood up and said, wait a minute, we can't do this. And you know what? Since I've been home in Texas, Everybody I've seen, everybody I've talked to have said thank you because they're tired of it. President Trump didn't run on racking up more debt. He ran on controlling inflation, driving down spending, securing the border. So I stand up firmly behind it, and I'm not going to blink. I'm not going to vote for a debt ceiling increase unless we have significant spending cuts.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, BitChute, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing They were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.